We have seen that the consecration to Our Lady, as explained by Saint Louis Marie Gredin de Montfort, implies surrendering to the Virgin as a whole, in body and soul, with her material and spiritual goods. We deliver home, family, rent, etc., on the one hand, and, on the other, what in the past class we called the meritorious, satisfactory and imperative value of our works. All of this is part of the set of goods consecrated to Mary. However, some distinctions must be made. The meritorious value, by which we acquire new graces and increase our glory in heaven, is per se incommunicable and non-transferable. For this reason, we can only hand him over to the Blessed Virgin so that she may keep him, that is, so that, having in hand these gifts that throughout our lives we have been treasuring, she may grant us the grace of contrition as perfect as possible if, unfortunately, we fall into a mortal sin and thus lose everything we had until then. In fact, it is well known that the merits lost by a serious sin can be revived from the moment we are back in grace. However, it is a probable sentence, defended by none other than St. Thomas Aquinas 1, that these merits do not always and necessarily revive to the same degree as before, but in accordance with the dispositions in which the sinner found himself in regaining grace. It is, therefore, pure illusion that the sinner suffers when he sins peacefully, thinking that, after sin, he will recover by penance all that he had lost to. Delivering, however, the value of our works to the care of Mary, we can hope that, if we have a misfortune to sin in such a way, we will be able to count on her help and intercession so that, repenting with all our hearts, we will regain grace and we don't lose anything we've entrusted to you. This, of course, in no way authorizes us to sin with ease. It would be offensive to the kind heart of our Blessed Mother to sleep placidly in vices of iniquities under the pretext of being a devotee of the Virgin, as if she were obliged to help those who, during a lifetime, had little concern for hurting, piercing, crucifying and outraging mercilessly to Jesus Christ, his Son. 3. The satisfactory value, as has already been seen, is linked to the various reparation practices, which are ultimately ordered to satisfy the penalty owed for sin, own or someone else's. Thus, for example, a believer can do penance already in this life, in order to lessen the penalties that he or a third party would have to suffer in purgatory. One can also offer sacrifices to God so that he does not punish in this world the most serious sins of humanity, which so much injure to the Creator and demand the just punishments of divine wrath. Therefore, when we deliver to Our Lady the satisfactory value of our good works, fasts, mortifications, indulgences, vigils, prayers, worship, etc., we are giving up the right to offer them to anyone. From now on, it is the Blessed Virgin who will decide to whom their value will be applied. We no longer have any power over him. And there is no disadvantage in this, as our beloved Mother knows much better than we who need this value. She, who tenderly loves and embraces all those to whom we would like to help with our works and sacrifices, by accepting us as consecrated, also accepts, as her own, our friends, family, our intentions, projects, etc. Indeed,
it is not credible that our friends, relatives, or benefactors suffer loss because we have devoted and consecrated ourselves without reservation to the service of our Lord and His Blessed Mother. It would be an injury to the power and goodness of Jesus and Mary, who will know how to count on our relatives, friends, and benefactors, taking advantage of our spiritual credit, or by any other means for.
As for the impetratory value, for which we plead new graces and favors to Our Lady, it too is handed over to Him without reservation. Whatever we ask for, we ask it now with the awareness that it is, totally and completely, in Mary's hands. We have no guarantee, it is true, that we will receive what we ask for, because we do not know how to ask for what and how it is appropriate, cf. Rom 8:26, James 4:3. But she will know what to give, how to give, when to give and under what circumstances. It will not only purify the selfishness that so often underlies our petitions, but also enrich our requests with her own merits, presenting them to your Son with a new value. Besides,
this practice does not prevent us from praying for others, living or dead, although the application of our good works depends on the will of the Blessed Virgin, and, quite the contrary, this circumstance will lead us to pray with much more confidence, in the same way that a rich person, who had donated all his goods to a great prince, would pray with increased confidence to that prince who would benefit some friend in need. It would even be a pleasure to give this prince an opportunity to show his appreciation to a person who had stripped himself of everything to magnify him, who had been reduced to complete poverty to honor him. The same must be said of our Lord and the Blessed Virgin, they will never be overcome in recognition. 5.
A consecrated person, when giving everything, loses nothing. Rather, he gains a lot by being in the hands of the Queen of heaven and earth, of the most glorious, exalted and generous of creatures, of the one who can present to the King, as a pleasant offering, everything we are and possess. 6.